going to start now. Now we want to start from the singles, because when we are talking about love languages, and it's always looking as if, oh, it's only the married people that should know about this, and is it only the married people that should be receiving gifts? Is it only the married people that should be having quality time? So the first question we want to ask tonight, sir, is that as a single person, the knowledge about love languages, do we need it? That's the first aspect. Do we need it? And the second thing is, if we need it, to what extent should we know about expressing love languages? So that's the question, sir.
Okay. If I will answer that first question in summary, there is no extent to which you can go in getting knowledge, because the knowledge of 5 love languages will prepare you ahead of what you want to become. So the knowledge is not the problem. What you do with the knowledge is what really matters. If you look at what happened in the book of Genesis chapter 2, where man fell, Genesis chapter 3 now, where they ate the fruit, the problem is not the fact that they ate the fruit. The problem is not the fact that they come into the knowledge of good and the knowledge of evil. But the problem is disobedience to God, who they listen to and who they stop listening to. They stopped listening to God. They started listening to Satan, which corrupted the knowledge, the application of the knowledge they had. So the knowledge is not the problem, but the voice they are listening to make use of that knowledge. What you use that knowledge for? Are you using it under godly authority, in the confine of godly space and God's marital institution, or is it a corrupted knowledge that you apply for other things? So if it's all about knowledge, then there's no limit to which you can know under the confines of God's authority, God's boundaries, godly boundaries. Because knowledge could corrupt, knowledge could create desire to explore. And you want to explore, you want to put to use. Should you know about sex before marriage? Yes, you need to learn, you need to know. You need to understand your body, you need to understand the body of the other person. However, what do you do with this knowledge, and under what boundary are you getting this knowledge? Is this what could be controlled under the authority of God, or it could be hijacked by the enemy and you start listening to the voice of the enemy to explore? Now, when it comes, I think the proper question is, to what extent can this knowledge be explored before marriage? Okay, if I get to know this, that okay, there is 5 love languages, these are what they are used for, this is the one peculiar to me. To what extent should I demand this? Should I even demand it in my relationship? Should I put it to work in my relationship? Is it a determinant factor to check whether I'm in love with a person or a person is in love with me by the kind of language they gave me? And to what extent should we put this to work in relationship before marriage? So I think that should be the focal point I want us to look tonight. So having the knowledge is not a problem. In fact, not having it is even more dangerous. You not being aware of things that could help your marriage. You not be aware of yourself, things you respond to, things your partner responds to, and having the knowledge now of how to put it to work is a problem. And I find out that many people go into marriage as naive. They don't know. They go as simple-hearted. God doesn't support being simple. He said, your word is a light to those who are simple-hearted. So the knowledge of the word will bring wisdom to people who are simple-hearted. You need to know. You don't need to run from knowledge that are vital and helpful for your marriage. And 5 love languages, I bet you, are vital for your marriage. They are needed. They are needed spices for your marriage. Though they may not be the foundational, but they are needed spices to keep the fire of romance, of feelings of affection in your marriage. So the knowledge is important, it's compulsory. You need to know it. But do you apply it before marriage? And this is a big question, and how we have to say that this is not a yes or no question. If I say yes, what do I mean? If I say no, what do I mean? So it's not a yes or no question, but I would just want us to understand what these 5 languages are, their purpose in a relationship and marriage, and you now judge by yourself if you want to apply it and to what extent. Now, the first thing I want to establish is that these expressions are called love languages. They are not called love. They are called love languages. So they are meant to be spoken by 2 people with genuine love for one another and a deep commitment to that love. They are not love in themselves. They are just expression of love. So there must first be foundation of love, because it's an act. It's an act. So people could deceitfully engage the act without the foundation. So the first thing before you even think about expression of love languages is that, is love first affirmed in this relationship? Have you affirmed, is love the foundation of this relationship, shown by commitment? So love languages are meant to be spoken by 2 people with genuine love. With genuine love, I have to emphasize that. With genuine love for one another. Then 2, and the deep commitment to such a love. You must have proven over time that there is commitment to this love that we have for one another. This is not just a mere word expression, I love you, I love you. No, love is more than that. It is deeper than what you think. So you must have confirmed that you both are actually in love. I'm not saying falling in love. You are in love, and this love is bound, is established in commitment. That is the first thing to establish when it comes to love languages, because it is languages spoken by love. So love must first be in place before it speaks. Then the second thing you need to think about is, what is the purpose of these love languages that we are talking about? What are the purpose of the love languages being spoken about? Are they a sign to prove that you love? No conversation I've heard as a person has ever gone in that direction before, especially when it comes to the light, when it comes to the kingdom matter. So they are not a proof of love. They are not signs to prove that someone loves you. Because many people have been deceived by this thing. If you love me, you will do this. If you love me, you will do this. No. But there are languages that emanate when genuine love has first been established. So the language, they are not, the speaking of this language is not a test to show that someone loves you. But if someone really loves you, there are evidences, there are expressions that you will see on that basis of foundation. So that makes it complex to define love by that act alone. So you must first take other steps, which hopefully I believe we might talk about later, to establish that there is love in this relationship before you engage this thing that we are talking about. So the purpose of love language is, number 1, the purpose is to stir the fire of romance and the feelings or affection associated with a relationship founded on love. So they are to stir up romance, they are to stir up your feelings, they are to stir up your affection for one another. And this is why we first emphasize that this relationship must first be founded in love before romance and affections are stirred up. And with deep romance and affection, anywhere you see deep romance and affection, what comes with it is emotional rush. Emotional rush, hormonal rush comes into play. Your hormones are aroused, that connect you together, scientifically proven. Those hormones are stimulated, that leads to bonding, and bodily giving or surrender most of the time. With an open heart, in an open manner and sense of security. Because these hormones are activated, they are only activated most of the time in a sense of secure environment, in a sense of secure interaction or relationship. So you feel secured by the expression of these love languages, and before you know it, you surrender, you open. So at that point, most of the time, there is no limit to the extent to which you can go to satisfy the other partner, to satisfy the demand of the other partner, because you are at ease, you are open, you feel secured by the emotional rush that is taking place based on the expression of these love languages. That is how God created it. Once this hormonal rush comes, you become open, you become vulnerable to such a person. So if it is someone who wants to exploit you, if it is a relationship that is not founded in love, this becomes dangerous. Even if it is founded in love, because we are still going to answer some questions. But before I go on to that, having understood the purpose, that the purpose is to steer feelings, is to steer affection that leads to bonding and openness in a manner, in a vulnerable manner, in a manner that portends a sense of security. What does the Bible have to say concerning the language, when to use it and when not to use it? A popular scriptural passage is Ecclesiastes 2 verse 7b. Ecclesiastes 2 verse 7b. It says, "Do not stir up nor awaken love when it pleases." Do not stir up or awaken love when it pleases. I will read other translation. Easy translation says, "Do not cause our love to wake up. Do not cause it to become too strong until the time is right." So don't speak languages that will wake it up or make it become too strong until the time is right. So you want to ask yourself, the time you are in the relationship, is it really right to stir up strong emotions? Will you be able to control it? Which most often you might not be able. Another translation, that is a translation I love so much, Message. It says, "Don't excite love. Don't stir it up until the time is ripe and you are ready." Don't excite it. Love languages excite love. Don't excite love. Don't stir it up until the time is ripe and you are ready. Ready for what? A deep and committed lifelong relationship, of which the only provision for it is marriage. So feelings of love can create emotions that could overpower your reasoning. That is one thing about this. So when those feelings are stirred up, they promote emotions that could overshadow or overpower your reasoning at that time. Most people who are falling in this journey at that point are not thinking right. It is after the whole deed is done that they come to their senses. And many singles, one of the challenges we have now is that many singles are too often in a hurry to develop intimate relationship based on strong feelings. They respond to feelings rather than thinking, commitment, meditation, subjected to time. So most of us that are singles, are younger this age, we are always in a hurry to develop intimate, to come into intimacy, which love languages will promote. It promotes intimacy. That is why it is something that we encourage in godly marriages, because it promotes relationship. We are vulnerable, you are open by this thing. You become bonded, emotionally cling to your partner by virtue of these languages. So nevertheless, feelings are not enough to support any lasting relationship. I've never seen any relationship built on feelings that last, because the day the feelings dwindle, that marriage will collapse, that relationship will collapse. So from that passage, it is saying, don't force romance, lest the feelings of love grow faster than the commitment needed to make the love last. Don't force romance to the extent that the feelings of love now grow faster than the commitment that is needed to sustain such love or feelings. Most people who express these love languages in relationship are looking for what to eat. They are not ready to be committed. So your first sense is to what extent is the commitment from this person to this relationship before I become vulnerable to the person. So it is better to patiently wait for the feeling of love and the commitment both to develop together gradually. Let it develop together, the feelings of love and the commitment. Don't steer what commitment will not be able to sustain. So I kept repeating commitment because one of the hallmark of love is commitment. So now coming to the question, should it be used in a godly, godly relationship or not? It depends on several factors, and I will talk about 5 factors there, of which these are an open conversation. This is a family meeting, and we have to take this thing serious. Number 1, should love languages be engaged in relationship? It depends on many factors. Now, number 1 factor, from past experiences of those who had actively engaged these love languages, how many relationships were able to tame or survive their experience? How many? I've seen that many people who engage these languages early in their relationship, more than 70% at the end of the day regretted doing so. I was talking to someone during my service here, and she was telling me, said, I'm not ready to waste my emotions again on any relationship. She has been wounded. She has wasted these languages, and at the end of the day, commitment was not there. The relationship didn't work out, and she was left with hurt and bitterness. So you might want to learn from the experiences of others who had engaged this before. Though, is this really something that is always tamed? What are the experiences of others speaking to you? What lessons can you learn? So it's better to learn from the experience of others than learning from your own experiences. It will save you a lot of hurt. It will save you a lot of scars. Number 2, in this kind of relationship that you are, is there openness? Are you open to discussing these things? And are you both accountable? Is there accountability on both ends to know how much is too much? For example, if I am in a relationship with a lady and my love language is touch, if the lady holds my hand and sexual feeling is being aroused and it's going to the extent that I may not be able to control it, will I be open enough to tell my partner that, oh, I don't want to go further. I don't want to. This thing triggers me. Just learn it for the sake of marriage, that when you touch me in this place, it triggers my emotion. But someone you are going to discuss such secret with, have you been able to confirm deep commitment so that at the end of the day, he or she doesn't use it against you? Because he knows that this is what gets you and want to use that, play on your emotions to get that done. That's why the first thing is to establish love and commitment in a relationship before you engage this. So are you both accountable to yourself and possibly to an authority that is guiding your relationship? Can you both have open discussions concerning what is too much? Your partner loves to embrace you, but you know that this trigger things within you. Are you bold enough to not push her away, yet have open discussions without any sense of triggers? Number 3, can you both boast that you have made a commitment that once one of you is weak, the other will stand tall and say, okay, at least I am stronger enough to stop this. Personally, I experienced that in my own relationship. I know my wife loves touch. Sometimes when we are together and maybe she wants to touch, she touch sometimes, but immediately she holds my hand, I look at her face. Once I sense that, okay, the way this thing is going, there's fire on the mountain, I want to withdraw. Sometimes I distract her, sometimes I just want to take a leave or put in mayors. But the question is, what of the days that the two of you could be weak? That's why some love languages, you have to be careful. What of the days? So you can have open discussion about it, because you need to know, because this thing will be useful in your marriage. You can't pretend not to know the love languages of your partner. And relationship during courtship is the time to know. You need to discuss it. You need to be open. But don't open your secret to someone who will use it against you. People are wicked. The heart of man is desperately wicked, and who can know it? So you have to be sensible, you have to be discerning, and you have to be open to authority over you. Please don't engage in relationship alone. It is wisdom for the two of you to be open to authority over you. Don't be too ashamed to go into relationship. If you are bold enough to answer yes to a guy, if a guy is bold enough, if you are bold enough to toast a lady and talk about marriage, you should be bold enough to see the authorities over those the person, to subject your relationship from the onset to people who will watch over you and make you accountable for every dealings. People you can be open to. Don't make it a secret thing. The first secret into sin, or the first weapon that Satan uses when it comes to sin, is secrecy. Either where are you? We hear your voice and we are hiding. Secrecy. That is the first. So any relationship that is based on secrecy, that is saying it's not the time, let's wait for the right time, I will come and introduce myself to the authority over you, that is first deception. If you are bold enough and you do not keep your emotions secret to go and toast or talk about love to a lady, you should be bold enough to meet the authority over the lady. I'm not saying do family matter, but have an authority. I mean a legit authority over you, and the two of you should be accountable. Then you have to watch the commitment level. Don't you just enter into a relationship no more than 1 month, 2 months. You don't know the person who this person is. There's no sense of commitment even from everything that defines this man. I'm talking about the family of the person, the woman, the lady or the guy, the family, the friends, the circles of this guy, and yet you are giving so much in that if he walks away, he just walks freely, and you don't have any hooks to trace him or to trace her and say, oh. So you must relationship has levels, and you must go in a way. Don't be in a hurry. Go along and play. Let it grow steadily and engage things steadily. So commitment level in relationship, not by you alone, but by all family members and the spiritual authority over you. And the last one, different languages have degree of excitement that they can give. So you can carefully choose the ones that you know is safe enough for you both to maintain boundaries that will sustain sexual purity in your relationship. And you have to be open and genuine about this. Once I see my fiancé when we are still dating reaction concerning something, I know that next time I should not go in this direction. But I store the knowledge because I know it will be applicable in marriage. That is love. I do not want to explore her weakness. She doesn't want to explore my weakness. That is commitment. Knowing fully that it's not even about us, it's about God. How can I do this thing and sin against God? God is the first watch over my relationship. So if I take advantage of her and use that against her, I'm accountable to God. That is someone who fears the Lord. That's why the first thing you should look for is, does this man fears God? Because God is the first oversight. So in summary, should you use love languages in a relationship or not? Number one, check the past experiences of others who have used or will use it. Have open discussion concerning what triggers you and to what extent it will trigger you. Number three, at every point in time, one of you must be strong enough, but you should be careful because of this, that the two of you might be weak, which Satan always take advantage of. Most people who fall into sin never plan to. They are people with good heart, with good intention, but good is never right. God is looking for people that are righteous, not people that are good. People who knows the right thing, who have the right standing, and walk in wisdom per time. And number four, check the commitment level in the relationship. Let your relationship grow with time to know why is this person interested in me. Over time, you will know. Most of the time, they want to cloud your thinking with these languages, but you must move beyond your feelings. You must be able to discern beyond feelings, especially when you are open to an authority. They will be able to think things straight with you when your emotions are clouded sometimes. And number five, the degree of excitement caused by each of the languages. For example, we have 5 love languages. Word of affirmation. Sometimes using the word like, okay, you are my love. As long as you both, you know that this doesn't trigger too much. But when you now get deeper to some ways that could trigger, that are sensual in such a way that we are not able to withhold, because we respond to words. We are creation from the word of God, and we respond to words. So if at every point in time, words that are always emanating from this person is not the one that can grow you up, but the ones that always trigger the emotional rush in you, be careful. So you might want to check the balance. Act of service. Act of service is only needed when the person really needs it. But every time it now turns you to be playing the duty of your wife. You are the one who will cook, you are the one who will wash the clothes, and you are saying, I'm only rendering act of service, that he doesn't know how to cook, so I'm helping him out. Something is wrong with your brain. You are not yet a wife. It's not your responsibility yet. You are just friends who are looking into long-term commitment. So act of service, and you have to be careful. Look at how Satan used act of service against Tamar. The brother invited him and said, oh, I am sick, please, if you can just cook for me. And in rendering act of service, she was raped. During my service there, a lady was opening up to me. She had a baby there, and she was telling me that, okay, what led to that? The guy was sick, and she went to visit the guy, and in the process of rendering act of service, caring, one thing led to the another. Before you know it, they had the encounter, and it brought the pregnancy. Regretting after the whole thing has been done. So you must be careful some act of service you are going to render. If you cannot render act of service in group, what other friends can do, then it is not yet time. The physical touch, I don't want to say avoid this entirely. Don't move beyond open holding of hands. Even holding of hands should not be when you both are alone. Be careful, because Satan is watching. You want to destroy that testimony. Then quality time. This one, I know quality time, you can still do it without physically being with one another. So quality time can be done over the phone now. You want quality time, or you can go to open places where you will be seen, where you'll be monitored, And when you both are coming back in groups of people, not where you are not known. So quality time could still be given is necessary. Receiving gift should be to the extent to which you can do to a friend, not to a wife. Don't give gift that is meant to be a wife to a friend, so that at the end of the day, if the person is walking away, you won't be feeling bad, because it is normal thing that you do for a friend. So you yourself now look at all these factors and answer the question: where do you think cautions are needed if these languages are to be engaged in relationship? I'm throwing it open to us now. Then is there any of the languages I've mentioned that you think, based on what I've said, that should not be engaged at all, and why? I want us to also have interaction. I want to hear your feedback based on the things that I've established. Which of these 5 languages, word of affirmation, act of service, physical touch, quality time, and receiving gift, which one do you think we need to throw cautions to when it comes to relationship? And are there any of these 5 that you think should not be engaged at all, and why? So let me stop here and hear back from us before we move on.